If you see one flea, you already have hundreds. One flea on your dog is not one flea in your home. By the time you spot that single insect, there are already hundreds of eggs, larvae, and pupae buried in your carpet, your furniture, and your pet's bedding right now. I am going to show you exactly how to break that cycle completely and get rid of every single flea in your home for good. Let's get into it. First, talk about why your flea treatment keeps failing. Here is the thing that nobody explains when you buy that flea spray or those flea bombs from the store. The product you bought likely works perfectly fine on adult fleas. Adult fleas are actually the easiest part of this problem to kill. The reason your treatment failed, the reason the fleas came back within 2 weeks of you treating, is that you only killed roughly 5% of the total flea population in your home. That number stops people cold every single time I share it. Adult fleas represent only about 5% of the total flea population in an infested home at any given moment. The other 95% is invisible to you. It is eggs, larvae, and pupae hidden deep in carpet fibers, tucked into the cracks between your hardwood floorboards, embedded in your upholstered furniture, living in your pet's bedding, and in some cases concentrated in the yard outside where your pet spends time. You spray the adults die, you feel like the problem is solved. Then 2 weeks later, you are scratching again because that invisible 95% has matured into a new adult generation and the whole cycle restarts from the beginning. This is the flea life cycle trap, and until you understand it clearly, you will keep repeating the same treatment cycle with the same frustrating results. Let me walk you through what that life cycle actually looks like so you can see exactly where the vulnerabilities are and how to attack each stage correctly. So, let's understand the enemy before you attack it. A female flea can lay up to 50 eggs per day. 50 eggs every single day. She lays those eggs on your pet, but the eggs are not sticky. They fall off your pet within hours and scatter throughout every area your pet travels through in your home. Every place your dog sleeps, every path your cat walks, every surface they brush against throughout the day is a place where flea eggs are accumulating and waiting to hatch. Those eggs hatch into larvae within 1 to 10 days, depending on temperature and humidity. Flea larvae are tiny, pale, worm-like creatures that actively avoid light and burrow deep into carpet fibers and into any dark, sheltered space they can find. They feed on organic debris and on the dried, blood-rich flea dirt that adult fleas leave behind. They are nearly impossible to see with the naked eye, and they are completely unaffected by most of the surface spray treatments people use. After feeding for several days, the larva spins a cocoon and enters the pupal stage. The pupal stage is where flea treatments go to die. The cocoon a flea pupa builds is sticky on the outside, and it becomes covered in debris from your carpet, making it nearly impossible for any spray or powder to penetrate through to the pupa inside. A flea inside its cocoon can survive there for up to 1 year, waiting for the right environmental signals before it emerges as an adult. That is why you can treat your home today. Feel like you have solved the problem. Go on vacation for a month and come back to walk through a cloud of newly emerged adult fleas the moment you walk through the door. The vibration and warmth of your footsteps signals those dormant pupae that a host has arrived and triggers simultaneous mass emergence. Now that you understand what you are actually dealing with, let me show you how to attack every stage of this life cycle at the same time so that none of them escape your treatment. Start here before any product goes down. Before you open a single product, you need to do the work that makes everything else effective. Vacuum. Vacuum more aggressively and more thoroughly than you probably think is necessary. Vacuum every square inch of carpet in your home. Do not just go over it once. Make multiple slow passes in different directions. The mechanical action of vacuuming does several things simultaneously. It physically removes eggs, larvae, and pupae from deep in the carpet fibers where no spray can reach them. It stimulates dormant pupae to emerge as adults, which means they hatch into a treated environment and die rather than hatching weeks later after your treatment has worn off. And it creates micro-abrasions in the flea's exoskeleton that make it more vulnerable to the insecticides you apply afterward. After vacuuming, immediately seal the vacuum bag or empty the canister into a sealed plastic bag and take it outside to your trash. If you leave the contents inside your vacuum, you have just created a warm incubator full of flea eggs sitting inside your home. Wash every piece of fabric your pet has contact with in the hottest water the fabric can tolerate. Pet beds, blankets, couch covers, anything they sleep on or regularly contact. High heat in both the wash and the dryer cycle kills every life stage of the flea without exception. Do not underestimate this preparation phase. People who skip it and go straight to spraying products get mediocre results. People who do this prep work first get results that actually last. Here is the indoor treatment that covers every life stage. Now you are ready to treat, and this is where you need to think differently than you probably have before. You do not need just an insecticide. You need an insecticide combined with an insect growth regulator. An insecticide kills the adult fleas. An insect growth regulator, you will see it called an IGR on product labels, prevents the eggs and larvae from ever developing into reproducing adults. It mimics a natural juvenile hormone in insects and locks the developing flea permanently in an immature, non-reproducing state. Even if an egg or larva survives your insecticide application, the IGR ensures it can never complete its development and become part of the next breeding generation. The two working together at the same time is what breaks the cycle instead of just temporarily reducing the adult population. One product that combines both functions in a single application is Precor Plus Fogger, or a product containing permethrin combined with methoprene or pyriproxyfen as the IGR component. When you're shopping, look for a product that lists an IGR ingredient on the label. If the product you are holding only lists a knockdown insecticide with no growth regulator, put it back and find one that includes both. For a heavy infestation, or a home with multiple rooms and carpeted areas throughout, a liquid concentrate mixed in a pump sprayer and applied manually gives you far better coverage and penetration than aerosol foggers, which often do not reach under furniture or into the recessed areas where larvae concentrate. Apply the diluted product along all baseboards, into carpet edges, under all furniture, under beds, in closets, and along any crack or gap in hardwood floors. Spray until the surface is damp but not soaking wet. Do not let your pets or children back into treated areas until the product is completely dry. Once dry, the treated surface is safe but remains actively working against hatching pupae for weeks. Okay, let me share how you can treat your pets correctly at the same time. Here is a critical mistake that wipes out otherwise good flea treatments. People treat the home thoroughly, they do everything right indoors, and then they put their untreated pet back into the treated environment. That untreated pet is a living flea incubator. Any adult fleas that emerge after treatment jump straight back onto the pet, feed, mate, and restart the egg-laying cycle within hours. Your pet and your home must be treated on the same day, not the same week, the same day. For your pet, consult your veterinarian about the most appropriate flea treatment for their species, size, and health status. The prescription grade spot-on treatments and oral flea medications available through veterinarians are significantly more effective than anything available over the counter at pet stores. Products containing afoxolaner, fluorolaner, or serolaner administered orally kill adult fleas that bite your pet within hours and maintain protection for up to 1 to 3 months, depending on the product. If you treat your home but not your pet simultaneously, you will be retreating your home within 2 weeks. If you treat both on the same day with the right products, you close the loop completely. The outdoor treatment most people never do. If your pet spends any time outdoors, your yard is part of the flea problem, and it needs to be part of your solution. Fleas in the yard thrive in shaded, humid areas, under bushes, along fence lines, under decks, in thick mulch, and in any area where your pet regularly rests or spends time. They cannot survive well in direct hot sunlight, so if you have a flea pressure issue in your yard, concentrate your treatment in the shaded areas and the spots where your pet frequents, rather than broadcasting product across the entire lawn. A permethrin-based yard spray applied with a hose end sprayer to those targeted shaded areas will dramatically reduce the outdoor flea population that would otherwise continuously reinfest your pet every time they go outside. Cut your grass short in areas where your pets spend time. Short grass means more sunlight penetration, drier soil, and a much less hospitable environment for flea larvae to develop in. Why does the problem come back, and how to make sure it does not? Even after a thorough treatment of your home, your pets, and your yard, you should expect to see some adult fleas for up to 2 to 3 weeks after your initial treatment. This is not a sign that your treatment failed. Those emerging adults are pupae that were already deep inside their protective cocoons when you treated. The cocoon protected them from your product, but they are now emerging into an environment where your residual treatment is still active and where your pet's flea treatment is killing any flea that attempts to feed. They cannot reproduce. They cannot establish a new egg-laying cycle. They are emerging into a dead end, and that is exactly where you want them. Vacuum daily for the first 2 weeks after treatment to keep stimulating pupal emergence and to remove any adults before they can attempt to breed. Maintain your pet's flea prevention continuously. Do not stop after 1 month just because you stop seeing fleas. That continuous coverage is what prevents the next generation from ever getting started. If you have been battling fleas for a while, hear this. Flea infestations that have been present for a full season or longer often require a second treatment application 14 to 21 days after the first. This catches the second wave of pupae that were too well protected during the initial treatment. 2 properly timed applications combined with continuous pet treatment and regular vacuuming will resolve even a severe, long-standing infestation in most homes. What it will not survive is inconsistency. Stopping your pet's flea prevention early, skipping the second treatment application, or forgetting to vacuum regularly are the things that let the cycle restart. Consistency over 30 days of follow-through will get you to a completely flea-free home that stays that way. Now let's talk about what might be living in your walls. If you found this video because you have been dealing with a general pest problem in your home beyond just fleas, I want you to go watch the video I put out recently on how to kill all rats and mice around your home safely without any risk to your pets. Because what a lot of homeowners do not realize is that rodents are one of the primary ways fleas enter a home in the first place. Rats and mice carry fleas on their bodies, and when those rodents are living in your walls or your attic, they are dropping flea eggs into your home from above without you ever knowing. This is how you win. Treat your home with an insecticide and insect growth regulator combination on the same day you treat your pet. Vacuum aggressively before and daily after treatment. Wash all fabric your pet contacts in hot water. Treat your yard in the shaded areas where fleas survive. Apply a second treatment 2 to 3 weeks after the first. Keep your pet on continuous flea prevention without gaps. God bless.